In January of 2011, American CIA contractor Raymond Davis, who was posted at the US consulate in Lahore, shot dead two Pakistani nationals. He claimed there was a threat to his life, and therefore he shot these two Pakistani citizens from the back. This was in broad daylight in one of the busiest markets in Lahore. Davis was arrested, he was charged by the Pakistani authorities, but the United States claimed that he had diplomatic immunity. 2 months later, a court set Davis free after he paid $2.5 million as blood money compensation to the families of the victims. Davis immediately left Pakistan. That was one of the coldest chapters in US-Pakistan ties, despite Pakistan being a major non-NATO ally and a frontline partner in the war on terror for the last 20 years. All of that changed this week when the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, accused the United States of plotting to overthrow his government. He called this a conspiracy hatched by an American diplomat in connivance with opposition politicians in Pakistan. On Crux Decode this week, how did things turn so sour between America and Pakistan? Will America be happy to see the end of Imran Khan? And the most important question in Pakistan, which way will the army swing? The American diplomat at the center of Imran Khan's conspiracy theory is a gentleman named Donald Lu. He's the Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia. Khan alleges that Donald Lu had told the previous Pakistan ambassador in Washington, Asad Majid, that the United States would like to see Imran Khan out of office. Imran alleges that Donald Lu had warned the Pakistan ambassador that there would be implications if the Pakistan Prime Minister survived the no-confidence vote. Now again, this was supposedly conveyed back to the Foreign Office in Islamabad in a cable that was sent by the ambassador. But there is nothing more to that than what Imran is alleging. It's just allegations. He's also claiming that numerous opposition politicians from Nawaz Sharif's party and from Bilawal Bhutto's party are both being paid off by American middlemen to ensure that his government is brought down. Again, Imran Khan has not placed any evidence in the public domain. There's no money trail, there's no bank account transactions, there is nothing that is evidentiary in nature to prove that there was indeed some kind of a quid pro quo, that American middlemen or contractors or diplomats paid off Pakistani politicians to ensure that they vote Imran Khan's government out. So this entire conspiracy charge by Imran Khan and several of his party members will only hold if there is a money trail or if there is evidence to show that there was some benefit, monetary or some other benefit, for all of these MPs, including MPs from his own party, in toppling Imran Khan's regime. Now, Donald Lu has served extensively in South Asia. He was the deputy charge de mission in New Delhi from 2010 to 2013. He was also in the political office in New Delhi back in the 1990s. He's also most recently, before this latest position, he's been ambassador to Kyrgyzstan as well as Albania. Now, unless there is some evidence of a quid pro quo, what message was conveyed by Lu to Ambassador Assad may simply constitute an American preference. America would like to see a more friendlier Prime Minister in Islamabad than Imran Khan. Now, it's also very clear that there is no love lost between Imran Khan and the Joe Biden administration. In fact, Biden has not even spoken to Imran Khan on the phone even once in the last year plus that he has been in office as President of the United States. Imran Khan has used the anti-America sentiment that is there in his country quite extensively throughout his political career. He was one of the first politicians to raise the issue of American drones killing Pakistani civilians in Waziristan. Since he became Prime Minister, he has assiduously tried to move Pakistan away from the American embrace right into the hands of China. The $50 billion CPEC project, or the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project, much of it is being implemented in Imran Khan's tenure. He's also tried to warm up to both Turkey and to Russia, and that is much to the detriment of Pakistan's traditional allies like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. In fact, Imran Khan was in Moscow on the very day that Vladimir Putin launched his war on Ukraine. That coincidence was not lost on Washington. With India, relations have plummeted to such a low that both countries do not even have ambassadors in each other's capitals. But not everybody in Pakistan agrees with this foreign policy shift under Imran Khan. Speaking just a day before Imran Khan's no-confidence motion, the Chief of Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, called for better ties with India. He also criticized Russia for the war in Ukraine, and he said that he wanted ties with Washington on a better keel. Now, it is clear that the Prime Minister and the Army Chief of Pakistan don't see eye to eye even on foreign policy. But which way will the army swing? That's the big question. So far in Pakistan, the army has maintained a neutral position in this ongoing political feud. But that has not always been the case. Pakistan has always had a rather tenuous relationship with democracy. For more than 30 out of the 75 years that it's been an independent country, Pakistan has seen military rule. The first military leader who seized power was General Ayub Khan, who took power in 1958, 10 years after Pakistan became independent. The longest period of military rule was when General Zia-ul Haq seized power from 1977 to 1988 when he died in an air crash. General Zia came to power after a coup which deposed the very popular Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Bhutto was later hanged to death by the Zia regime. And the last military dictator to occupy power in Pakistan was General Pervez Musharraf between 1999 and 2008. And it is this example that's being pointed out by Imran Khan's supporters and detractors alike, that if he cannot resolve his differences with the army, then he could end up meeting the same fate as those prime ministers who opposed an army coup in the past. Imran Khan may still be very popular in Pakistan, and riding high on anti-Americanism, he's hoping to come back to power yet again. But anti-Americanism cannot be a substitute for a badly managed economy. Pakistan has had to go to the IMF multiple occasions in the last 4 years with a begging bowl to restructure its economy. Ordinary Pakistanis are getting crushed under long power cuts, runaway inflation of food items, and of course the pandemic, which has destroyed both jobs as well as remittances. But then who cares when you can always bash America and get people to vote?